Hello, everybody. It is 10 in the morning on Sunday, and I just got done singing for about 15-20 minutes, kind of talking about where we are in the neighborhood. I hope that the people around me heard enough. Um, I'll keep singing because it's a way that my voice is not silenced. My voice is silenced right now because of a belief in psychiatry and um, it's very frustrating because they do not believe in the technology called V2K. And I'm going to show you real quickly something that might be difficult to understand. It's a challenging word, but it's been around since 1974, and it's actually real. And it's microwave, which is the same thing as your cell phone. It's the same type of signal. And the microwave enters the skull and it makes the skull vibrate. The inner ear is attached to it, so it gives the illusion of sound as if it traveled through the canal, but it didn't. It's your head vibrating, and they can pack sound into the wave so that that's what you hear. And when I was introduced to these waves, there's no defense, first of all. You can't defend yourself. When I was introduced to them and they started, I would respond angrily. And neighbors thought that I was crazy. And now they look for me to talk to myself because the police told them to look for odd behavior. So what has happened is it turned into stalking around the entire neighborhood. So everybody's on pins and needles thinking I'm crazy. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with me. But because the police think I am, because the doctors said so. You see how that happened? It's the doctors that don't believe V2K. Because one of their 5 questions for hospitalization is, do you see or hear things that other people don't? If everybody around me is reporting it, and if I'm writing it in my Facebook journal for people to read, that is how they continue to do this. I discovered this in January of this year, 2022. They finally wrote out exactly what it was. They couldn't peg me for anything else going in, but they said Havana syndrome, V2K, and RNM are delusional beliefs. Well, if you're paying attention to the news at all, you know that Havana syndrome is very real. And it is pretty much the same thing. So that led the police to call real crime a delusional belief because they don't believe that it happened. I haven't been able to track down why they don't believe me, but they don't. And they're causing hospitalizations by, I think, a neighbor calling them, reporting symptoms, and saying that they're concerned. That would open up a file with Netcare. Then Netcare comes out, and guess who the police recommend they talk to? Same person. So that person, in their belief, of something going on that isn't, even though she's been told what's causing it, she doesn't believe it. So it's causing all of this circular pattern, which is a trap. Um, you don't hear people talk about remote neural monitoring and V2K because people think you're crazy. But look it up on the internet. It's all over. And it's actually real. So this has been a problem that I've been trying to tackle. My captors are saints and have shown amazing restraint. They understand that the program is evil. It does bad things to them and to the victim. And they're very scared to stand up. I've lost nearly everything that I have. I'm hanging on by a thread, and I'm working hard every single day to get resolution. But some neighbors want to stay silent. And this is a chance to really save the world. But we have to stand up together. If we do it alone, nobody's going to hear us. And people don't believe the ties, the targeted individuals, the victims, because they report what is happening to them. See, I hear ringing in the ears, and people go, "Oh, that's tinnitus. That's nothing." Or, "Look at this bruise. Oh, you must have bumped into something." They don't believe that it was caused by something invisible. But you believe in your television remote, and you believe in your cell phone, and FM and AM radio, and television reception. You see, the electromagnetic spectrum is big. You want to see how big? It is this big. And the visible part of the spectrum is that spot in the middle. This is our reality. This is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And it's all packed in right there. That is our existence. Everything that we know, if we go with seeing is believing. That's why people who have a problem with it are like, where's the proof? You don't have any evidence that it's that it's actually happening. Well, no, because it's invisible. You get an x-ray when you go to the dentist or when you go to the hospital for a broken arm or leg. That's invisible. You believe that. I mean, there are lots of things that are invisible. But people have to get out of this concept of you have to see it to believe it. How about doing something different today? How about believing first? You don't have to stay there, but believe first and research V2K and RNM. Because if you spend 15 to 20 minutes looking at it, saying to yourself, okay, I'm understanding this, then afterwards what you can do is you can doubt all you want. Make out a list. Why is it not possible? But don't naysay something that you do not know. It's extremely important. It's a different way of thinking. And it's the key to us getting into the electromagnetic age, which involves believing things that are not visible, believing that they exist, like God. The electromagnetic age will be focused on God and supporting each other and community and all these wonderful things. We've found a lot of advances technologically and scientifically and medically. We have some amazing things that are possible. But we have to believe first. If you can believe, we can make it there. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in the information age. And what the information age is this. Here is a story. You have one side and the other side. And this one is correct. And this one is wrong. Do you know what happens if the wrong side is the side that people like government or the elite want to be told? They go ahead and they create articles or stories about it. So it looks like this. So when you look on the internet, you will find wrong answer is what you see the most. And then there's a kind of wolf pack mentality that attacks the correct one. And the people in the majority say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Or you're crazy. Why do you believe that? That's the way that the wrong information gets passed down. There are a few things that are extremely important to get correct because I feel that going ahead with the false narrative threatens the security of our nation and stability because it is a secret of sorts. I consider a secret something that is in the minority of belief being the correct answer. If everybody believes something, but they don't know what they're talking about, we're going to continue believing the wrong thing. And we can wake up from this dream world where everybody can create something and have it be believed. We have to wake up from that because reality is where we thrive. That's where we know we're really alive. So if you're with me, right now, just believe and go do some research on your own. Take 5, 10, 15 minutes. Don't spend too much time. Get the gist and then think about it. And then you decide. The reason I speak out about it is because I have pretty much lost everything. If I don't get my life back, I'm doomed. And I play piano and I enjoy the outdoors and I enjoy teaching because that's what I've done for 22 years. And my friends' disbelief has made them distance themselves. So I need new people to be my support. And hopefully they'll come back around. A lot of people have decided that I'm a lost cause, and there's nothing wrong with me. Just because I'm reporting something that's going on that you don't believe doesn't make me sick. And they'll say, well, the professionals say. Well, the professionals are wrong, and shame on psychiatry. They should move into the 21st century instead of being in the 1800s. I'm gay too, so, it's a good thing we're not in the 1800s because I'd be put in a mental institution. The field of psychiatry has some problems because there's no medical backing to back up what their diagnoses are. It's guesswork. So they guess for a living. Imagine that. Getting paid $100,000 to guess all day. And what they do is they take a look at your behavior. So when you go in, they observe how you behave. So the first 5 or 6 times that I went in, because neighbors were calling and lying on the form, but that's another story. I was given 4 different diagnoses because it depended on my behavior that day. So that's an indication that there's something wrong with the diagnosis. And it's all documented. I said neighbors have been harassing me and they're trying to get me to move, and they're causing hospitalizations, and they did not believe me. I said that the police are blocking me. They did not believe that, but they saw 0 reports of crime. So I have absolutely been way set up. The reason I was set up was because there was an imposter who came into the neighborhood and told lies. I know my own arrest record. I know that they were parked and did not follow me back home, but I found out in a 911 call that that's what they told my neighbor. I don't know when she found out that they weren't real, but she understands now that they're not. But she hasn't told the police yet, or maybe she has. Things are really a mystery. But the point is, we need to work together. And what I have done is I promise that I will not sue anybody who helps me if they help. So it takes the fear of doing the right thing. I know I'm walking in truth. That's why I don't fear. Um, and I've got enough evidence to show that a silencing due to psychiatry is not the correct answer. Uh, it's the wrong answer. I've been looking for validity for a while, and that's where my captors come into play. Because I've said through V2K, because it's a two-way communication, give me a letter of apology in your handwriting and send it to my phone. And that way I can post it. The reason why I want that is to show that V2K happened, because we've never met. I don't know who my captors are. And if they are brave enough and they would be protected by media, their source would be protected. So they could go in and give a handwriting sample in person and have a handwriting analysis person there. And the TV studio would know their identity, but nobody else would, if they're afraid to come out. But that would give validity, and it's safe. Another way I thought was for me to be able to see the screen that they're viewing my world through, my vision, and hearing what I'm saying, because that's what happens. And I said, go ahead and record the screen and put it on a social media platform as a live feed. Then tell me with V2K what it is so that I can see it on my screen, on my computer screen. I'll go to that site and log in. Then I take a video of myself and the view that they see and do it split screen. So it proves both sides. are connected, but I don't have any wires. There are no wires anywhere. It's all done by microwave. Anybody can do this. And I'm offering a reward because I know that um, once validity is given, that I have 11 books, 11 journals that I've written since 2018 of an incredible journey of discovery. But I'm just not believed of things. But I've learned so much. I'm offering a reward for it, and it's a percentage of the journals and 333 pages of print without somebody else editing it. You can write whatever you want. And that's available to be viewed as the featured post. That's the top post at Tiered Justice, Equity, and Equality on Facebook. I'm currently banned there because I responded to a comment that was rude and I didn't follow the community guidelines. So I'm not able to post until the 27th of November. So I'm silenced. I am on Instagram, but you're already where most of the information will be. Instagram, though, is this address. And people have said, oh, he's a pot smoker. I have 0 positive marijuana results for all 24 hospitalizations in 5 years. So you don't need to worry about me. You don't have to hate. Forward. Is that some? I'm trying to get the word out. And my neighbors are very scared right now because they're liable, the police are liable, and the government's liable because I built my case of negligence by documenting everything, by documenting all my attempts. It's available for everybody to see. It's been that way for a while. I wanted my neighbors to know what was going on in my life and the struggles that I was having. So I put a flyer in each of their mailboxes. This was years ago. And at that point, I was protecting the identity of the main characters and using fictitious names. And people weren't picking up on that. So I lost everybody. And they were like, it's crazy. But as my one friend Rachel says, he believes that he's being attacked by light waves. It's true. It's true. It's a stretch, though, and people don't believe it. But it's very true. 10,000 people in the world, at least. There are some estimates there are 2 million. And it has a lot of capabilities. I'll just leave it at that for right now because I want this video to stay up. So I'll watch my tongue and follow my communist community guidelines and pretend that I'm in Nazi Germany and under a dictatorship that is playing a narrative. Let's have the truth because it's going to be a lot better for everybody. I promise. And it's okay to say that you disagree with the government. It's not against the law. And I think some people are thinking that it is because they made RNM legal. Just because you make something legal doesn't make it legal. The weapon might be legal, but what it does is very illegal. So when people use it, they could get in trouble. It's like a gun. A gun is legal, isn't it? It's the same thing. If you use it, you're then guilty of a crime. You're not guilty. And it causes cancer. Microwaves cause cancer. Look it up on the internet. Do what I just told you. Believe first and do the research. So truth has to start coming out about things because it's getting ridiculous. We're not living in reality today. And I'm a man of truth. And I do speak my mind. And I'm respectful too. And I try to educate people about the truth. And the resistance I'm getting is huge. I'm hoping that people will learn to be a little more open-minded because it's super important. We have to learn new things. Otherwise, we're never going to get out the information age. We got to stick together and we can do it. But we have to be honest about things. And we'll get out of this nightmare that can turn into a miracle. So come along with me. Have a great day. I'll be posting a little bit later. Take care.